whoever's pen that is. I got books, I got notes, and I don't have a plan.
What are you going to talk about?
I got nothing. We'll see what comes up.
From Erie's own Government Access, Channel 9, from the City Hall Council Chambers, it's time once again for the Taxpayers Hotline Show. And now, ladies and gentlemen, your host...
Well. Here we are. This is Councilman Kaz-Kwiatkowski and my good, how do I call you? Sidekick or?
I don't know.
Sidekick's good.
Who am I?
Well, let's see. Wild Bill had jingles, and
Why am I here?
Don Quixote had Sancho Pancho, and what do I got?
We don't bring up Don Quixote.
There we go. Hey, we got a caller, though.
Caller?
Go ahead, caller.
Hey, I got a complaint for you.
Oh, I love complaints. Go ahead.
The Time Warner cable, they switch over to Spectrum,
Yes.
and I can't get the government channel in, which I wouldn't be able to see you on TV,
Why can't you get it?
meetings and that. And I called them, gave them my phone number, and they said they don't have account for that number. And then I said, well, I don't know the account number. And then they said, I gotta enter my zip code number and all that. Now, you gotta enter so many numbers to talk to somebody. Boy, I'll be in one hell of a fix if I didn't have no channels and I can't get these people.
They said you don't exist as an account?
That's what they're telling me. But I could get all my other channels, but the government channel.
You get an answer for that, DJ?
I do not know. They may be making some sort of switch over.
I didn't lose mine at home, though.
I haven't been able to see mine in a while, but that was way before the switch over because our
We'll have
cable
to try.
quality.
Hey, when I go off the air, I'll get your name and address, okay?
All right.
And then we'll try them from here, like.
All right.
I'll kind of give them a call and see.
You want me to give you my address?
You don't want to give it over the air, do you?
No.
Okay, so I'll tell you what. Do you have my phone number?
Yeah, I have your cell phone number.
Okay, call me after the show. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll try and see what they say, because I just had my mother's taken care of, and that worked out okay.
Yeah, I get all the other channels, but the government channels, and they're switching over, and you got to enter so much numbers.
That should
and
be.
then, because when they had just Time Warner cable before Spectrum bought it.
Yeah. Well, the government channel should be just
My
on.
phone number, and that was it.
That government channel should be on everybody's regular TV, really, right? That's not.
Yeah, it's supposed to be free and there all the time.
Yeah. Well,
But it's all dark.
maybe, you know what? They have been doing a lot of work up by my house, but I'll have to check mine at home to see if it's been affected this week.
Yeah, because I can't get Channel 8 or Channel 2 in either.
Okay, you call me off the air, and I'll call for you, and we'll see what they tell us.
Okay, I'll call after 3 then.
Right.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
And another thing, are they going to be doing roads this summer?
I mean, yeah, we haven't released a list yet, though, so.
Yeah, because I need on 11th and State, on the other side of State on 11th, from State to Beach, that all needs milled down and redone.
Well, I don't know what, we'll see what they have on there. It's 11th Street from State to Peach, right?
Right.
Okay.
And then halfway down the block on 11th from French East needs milled down just past almost down just past the city mission.
Right.
That all needs milled down about halfway and redone.
I'll put them in. We'll see what happens, okay?
Okay, thank you very much.
Hey, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you have a newer TV?
I have, a Westinghouse.
Is it new or old, though?
Well, it ain't real old. I'll say maybe a year or two old.
So it's like one of those flat screen digital TVs?
Yes.
What you might want to try doing is, if the cable's hooked up to the back of the TV, try rescanning for new channels.
I don't know how to do that.
Do you have a box, or is it hooked into the TV? Do you know?
Do you have a cable box, or is it hooked right into the TV?
Box.
You have a box.
That should not be as concerning, right?
Yeah, that shouldn't. Yeah,
You could try rebooting it, though, which is unplug it.
You could pull the power plug on the box, let it wait for like 30 seconds, and then plug it back in.
Do you know how to do that?
Well, I hate to do it and then don't know how to put it back in, and then you can't get these people.
Well, no, what you do is, if you reboot it, you take the power plug in the back of the box,
Just unplug it.
just unplug it for like 30 seconds,
All right.
and then you plug the plug right back in the same hole,
Okay.
and then the screen will do a countdown.
Yeah, it'll take a few minutes, but then it'll come back. with
Yeah,
all
you'll
your
see it
channels.
counting down like 10, 9, 8, 7.
I mean,
Then when it gets down to when you see the clock again,
yeah.
when you see the time of the day on there, then hit your power button for the cable, and it probably will reboot it.
If anything goes wrong, just let Kaz know, and I'll come over and take a look.
Yeah, well, just the plug-in part, not the cable.
Yeah, just the power. Just
Yeah,
the
just
plug.
like if you were going to plug it into
All right.
to turn it on, you know.
Okay, yeah, I'll try that then.
Yeah, and if that doesn't work, you know,
Yeah.
okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
And for everybody else who has a TV that might be plugged in directly to the cable, I find myself yelling all of a sudden.
Yeah.
It's 97.103 is the actual channel. If you rescan, you can get it on 97.103, and CAT is 97.104, and the school is like 105.
It would be nice if the cable companies would, you get people like this gentleman and my mother who, they're not very savvy electronics, you know.
It would be nice if they made it simple and kept it simple and got their stuff together.
Yeah, I mean, it really is, because, you know, they're going through a change now, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of different things. Channels are being switched, and
Time Warner's going through the change.
it's Spectrum, isn't it?
It's Spectrum now. They've changed. It's like a rainbow of
You know, I do like Spectrum better, and I'll tell you why. There's much more options available, like even on your apps on your phone.
Really?
Yeah, the one big hole they had in the system was you could not get Cleveland Indian games when you were out of town. Mm-hmm. Even though you had what they called the Go Fox, or, you know, Fox on the Go app, and now you can. But
We have loose cables. I have our.
yeah, I see that.
Our peanut gallery is going to try to tighten.
Adjust our TV.
He's going to screw that thing in.
Our
and
monitor will be adjusted.
It's going to be the best video we've ever had. Now it looks good.
Wow.
Thank you. Yeah, we called this guy all the way in from Ohio.
An engineer and in-house technician. How do you go better in this show?
I don't think
know.
we can.
Well,
we should quit while we're ahead.
Yeah. Getting back before we get more phone. You got anything before we get more phone calls?
I don't have anything in.
You said you had tons of notes.
I have tons of notes from shows we've done in the past, but as things come up and as people call, please call now. As people call, we'll talk about stuff. I mean, I've always got the same stuff.
You know, years ago we used to have a cable director
Yeah.
in Erie at the City Hall.
I heard about that. I really
Yeah.
wish I had seen that.
He was like we call him like an ombudsman.
Hey, did spring pickup start on Saturday?
Yes,
Was
it
it
does.
April 1st? Okay, so spring pickup is going on now. Large items.
But remember, no electronics.
No electronics, no
But
TVs.
It's amazing
no,
they showed on TV. There's electronics out there.
There are TVs and stereos and stuff all over the place. Don't do it. What's the pickup day? Did we get the information for the electronics?
I could,
Take
you
it
know,
down
I
to the
had
city
it.
garage. Yeah, I don't. I knew we were supposed to look into it, and I don't have.
No, I had it, and I got it in my other folder.
Oh.
I can get it from. We can have it. Maybe I'll get them to put it on the internet also.
Well, yeah, it could, be on the website and the scroll that goes.
There's an interesting. I talked to some gentlemen that are trying to actually start an electronic recycling in Erie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a concept they've done out of town. We met him at, a couple weeks ago, we had a COG meeting, which is a Council of Governments.
Yeah.
Where all the outlying governments get together.
Does this company have facilities in Buffalo and Rochester?
I think that's them.
I know them. I know the guy. I actually had him at Cat TV. I had him come in, and I was trying to work out. I told him to contact you guys because I think one of their recycling centers here in Erie would be great, because then people with the electronics could bring it in and they just take care of it.
Well, explain, there were some things they wouldn't take, but other things they would.
Anything
But in
dangerous.
general, it would be, it wouldn't be the one-time thing like.
Yeah, it's Sun King.
He would be set up, what, for permanently, like, or?
Yeah, they'd have a facility, and people would bring their electronics to them for $45, I think it was, for an entire pallet of electronics you could take to them.
Yeah, because we had the one caller
Yeah.
in here, and I didn't want her to think we weren't trying anything, but
We are
I was talking
actually
to the gentleman.
trying.
I said,
Yeah.
he wants to make a presentation to council,
Yes.
and I said, we'll fit you in. I got his card at home.
Supposedly, they already are part of the pickup, of the one-time, one-a-year pickup, but I've been trying to work with him to get him to make a facility, because they want to move west.
Well, yeah.
They've gone from Brockport to Buffalo.
And the nice thing is, you know what? It could be for everybody, a winner-take-all thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And I haven't seen this proposal, but we've had some good ideas from some of the callers about, selling compost and, getting into recycling. And
Yeah.
those things are, as we go through, a new administration coming up in a year here.
Yeah.
Those would be things that, we could start working on.
That's awesome. I really, really want to get them here, because that's bringing business into the city and helping help us get rid of our junk electronics instead of throwing it out when they're not supposed to.
Well, in fact, when we were talking, I was with a gentleman from Mill Creek, and we were talking with him, and both of us thought it was a pretty good idea, because it's one of the big questions we get. What do you do with electronics? Constantly.
Yeah. Exactly, and they know how to handle it.
And we're in a throwaway society now,
Yeah, everything we get.
People ask me, what do you do with phones? Well, you can bring your phones down here to City Hall.
Yeah.
We have a box out there.
Oh, wow.
They'll recycle those phones and use them for, 911 phones.
Oh, sure. That's cool. Yeah.
But, batteries, I was with, Sarah gave me the whole thing. I had the breakdown of what to do with batteries and where to take them.
Yeah, I think Best Buy still takes batteries, and there's a place up on Peachtree called Batteries and More, Bulbs and Batteries. It's up by the McDonald's up on Upper Peach. They will take any kind of rechargeable battery.
But like the TVs, I think you had to take out to, where the heck was it now?
TVs? Yeah, I don't really know.
I think it was that recycling place. You had to pay, though, but
yeah,
you had to take it out. I thought it was the one that was behind Yorktown. Maybe that was it.
I'm not 100% sure, but this company that we're trying to get to come in, we could set a deal up with them where people can just bring their stuff in, and we get rid of it at a very low cost, like pennies. So
if we could make money at it, that'd be great too. But,
Yeah,
just getting the big thing is getting the crap off the street.
Yeah, seriously.
If you have a place to put it, it's a lot better than finding it laying in some one of our parks or side of the road somewhere.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm actually very excited about this. And we're not going to have a recycling authority. If we do this and there's something going on, we can handle it as a city council, and as the new mayor coming into office.
I didn't know you knew the gentleman, but that's good.
Yeah. I have no.
We'll have to get Sarah. Sarah's big into recycling too, or Sarah Galloway.
We need to get her down to CAT so she can check out our makerspace, because we're all about recycling.
Invite her.
I will. I'll need her contact information.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, yeah, okay.
So, speaking of makerspace, you guys getting going pretty good?
We're doing pretty well. We had a number of new people find out about us and like the Facebook page and stop in and join up. It's been a buzz. It's been really, really good. And moving it into CAT was actually, I wasn't sure it was going to work, but it actually seems
if you get some space, it's probably not going to hurt,
Yeah, no, seriously.
Hey, and it brings you exposure too. People maybe they'll want to get interested in televising.
Yeah. Speaking of televising, Kat this weekend had a rummage sale, and I'd like to thank everyone
I was going to ask you, how'd you do?
I would like to thank everyone who had a part in that or donated anything. If you know anyone who did, tell them I said thank you. We did very good. We actually got triple our goal. We actually set a goal and said if we hit this goal, we'll do it again. And we set a goal of $500. So do
you
the math.
gave me the answer, so.
Yeah, that's the answer.
Well, anything you guys can do is...
It was an incredible weekend, and we were nickel and diming it. I mean, we were selling stuff for pennies and quarters and nickels, and we still...
Well, here's the thing. Next year...
We did well.
Next year, I would do my due diligence around the house.
Yeah.
And try to get you,
I'm going to need you to be there next year so you can just hang around and be like, hey, I can tell you about that radio. We'll have you, like, being a salesman. That'd be awesome.
There's some stuff there I wish if my wife would have allowed me. But we're in the process of actually moving stuff out. But
she would kill me.
I got a nice radio I want you to look at, though, but I'll bring it. Maybe I'll bring it down. You can show me how to fix it up at Makerspace.
Hey, we fix things. We teach people we teach people skills that they may not have, like how to, some people don't even know how to change batteries or change a power cord or find out if something's simple wrong. I
went down there to donate, and I wound up taking home a couple things, so.
I did the same thing. I took a lot of stuff home from the rummage sale. I bought things that I didn't need.
Yeah, but you know what? People... And to think that you guys are up against another one we won't mention, but that's okay. Sometimes, when you have two going on at one time, people get in the mood of, hey, I'm going out once, I'll go out again.
Yeah, so awesome.
That's
awesome.
Good news for you guys.
It was a good weekend.
Go ahead, caller.
It worked, yes, thank you.
Oh, there you go.
Now unplugged it and then waited for about a minute and then I put it back on. I could see your channel.
There you go. If ever you have trouble, like in the future, first thing they'll tell you the same thing at the cable company is try to reboot it,
Yeah. Well, thank you very much. And if I don't hear from you or talk to you, I hope you have a nice Easter.
I'm going to be with my grandkids, so going to bring them lots of the bad stuff their parents don't want.
Oh, okay. All right.
Candy.
Nice big chocolate bunny.
Candy and toys that make noise.
See ya.
All right. Bye.
Later.
That's good that he's okay now.
Success story.
I learned the hard way all these years,
What can we charge
they've been rebooting it's been crazy. I wake up and my channel's in the default position, but not on your channel like they used to.
Yeah, because we're not there anymore.
And it used to be the crazy things that would, the shows would be like bopping up in the middle of the night all the time.
Yeah.
Go ahead, caller.
Hi. Do you have the list for the paving of the streets this year?
Not yet. When we get it, it's going to be on the. Do you have a computer?
Okay.
It'll be on the internet.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, okay, it'll be on the city website. I'll check, but I don't think we've got it yet. Can you hold on? If I have it, I'll announce it today. Okay?
All right. Thanks.
You want to take over for a minute there?
Sure.
Okay.
I will field any phone calls.
I don't think we got it yet.
Please call now. Hello. Kaz has abandoned me. This is Taxpayers Hotline with DJ Barker. Please call now. It's 870-1284. 870-1284. This is the show where you can call and voice opinions and ask questions about the city and things you pay taxes for. Oh, don't get in the picture. Don't get in the picture. Oh, I have a note. Oh, hey, I was handed a piece of paper. The recycling drop-off. I'll get to this in one moment. Just hit the first one, right? Oh, thanks.
Is it a real piece of paper?
It's actual paper. The recycling drop-off and electronic recycling day is May the 6th, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m.
I think that's at our garage, I believe.
That's at the city garage, and I
Right.
believe the hazardous waste day is on the same day. I'm not 100% sure on that.
Electronic Recycling Day, and there'll be a line there, so
Yeah,
get there early.
There always is a line.
May 6th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Yeah. So there you go, May 6th. Make
And
it
I was
happen.
just told that we don't have the milling list yet. It usually comes out the end of this month or early next month, as a rule. So when we get the list, we'll tell you, but it'll also be available on the city website,
Cool. I'm just looking up that guy.
which is cityoferie.gov.
City of Erie.
Well,
Dot
if
gov.
you could just go on your web search, it'll be cityoferie.gov, you know.
Okay, cool. I'm just looking up information. So
That's
we're still
good.
live. Give us a call. Kaz is back to save me from
And, you
talking
know,
to myself.
Yeah, that was good that you guys had a successful program, and I'm actually getting people out there that are interested in having you televise a few events.
Oh, that would be
So we got to
awesome.
talk after the show about it, but
Yeah, we can totally do that.
And-
We'll do lunch.
what I did last week, I attended the gaming public hearing, but
Yeah.
it wasn't so much a public hearing as it was more of a meeting of people wanting the status quo, but
Yeah.
so the gaming thing is still up in the air about, but council remains adamant that we would like a piece of that pie too.
Yeah.
You know, we could use it for public safety or,
This is the gambling.
yeah, because right now it's up in the air because of the challenges on the east side of the state.
Wouldn't we have had the whole pie if they were in the city?
That's what we were told that we would, because of the size of our budget,
Yeah.
that we would have got a very large piece of it, very, very, very large, maybe all of it. But
Yeah.
we never got that point to find out. But yeah,
we are technically part of Erie County, so we should get something.
yeah. But remember, we don't get it. Forever, you don't get it. Nobody gets it. But the
Yeah.
touching contiguous counties, I mean, not counties, the contiguous touching
Towns. and
political
stuff.
subdivisions.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, then, darn.
But yeah, we attended the hearing, we listened, and we offered testimony, but not orally. They wouldn't let us. But
Gotcha.
go ahead, caller.
Question. East Avenue Bridge, what have they decided to do with that?
Oh, you mean the McBride Viaduct?
Yeah.
It's on a schedule to be demolished, as it is now. We will be getting a report in a few months, the final report about. The Commonwealth will submit it to us about the timetable and everything like that. And they'll also have a final financial breakdown because, as you know, the House and Senate in Pennsylvania and the governor are at odds a little bit, so they'll come up with a final figure. But right now the bridge is destined, looks like late this year, to either be going down or be on a schedule for it. So, I mean, for those that want to save it, the clock is running fast. But that's what we were told that,
What could even be done?
well, if somebody would want to take it over entirely,
What would that cost?
that would be,
Ballpark?
it depends if you're talking maintenance, rebuild, insurance, all that. So
Yeah.
right now it's on a schedule to be, probably by sometime the end of the year, be either demolished or on its way to be.
Oh.
Are you a proponent or?
No, I was for saving it. It would have made a beautiful vendor's menu up there.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're,
Cars, no
Yeah.
cars, just walking with benches and trees or whatever.
yeah, the problem we have now is that the decision was made well before this council, and it's been on a track going that way. Decisions were made to accept the proposal, so the turnaround now would mean things would have to be changed, money paid back. It's all in debate, and there are those that disagree with what's being said, but the bottom line is that it would really take something to turn it around. But the bridge would have to be rebuilt. It can't stay the way it is.
Yeah.
There would have to be issues on insurance and all that taken care of, and future maintenance. Who would take care of it? Without it being for vehicular traffic, it'd probably be best handled if an organization would actually take it over. You know, but there are people that are trying, but nothing has come concrete yet back to the council or the state that I know of.
Okay, thanks.
But thank you for asking.
I would have liked to have seen it become like the High Line in New York City.
Yeah, well, that's been talked about,
Yeah,
but
a very small High Line.
there's usually a
could be done.
public-private partnership that hasn't happened.
That would have to happen.
Look, I fought hard for that bridge.
That needed to happen.
I protested. I marched with Father Jerry and all of them. Had I been on council at the time, I would have definitely voted against what they, you know, I saw a need for the bridge, but,
Yeah.
you know, at this point, there's a lot of he said, she said.
Oh, I know.
And
Yeah.
all we can go on is what we've been told by the state, which is, you know, they're planning on proceeding.
Yeah.
And if things want to change, then
Who's paying for that? I mean, the state is.
the state and feds are paying a large chunk of that.
a large chunk.
Very large.
Like 80, 90%.
Pretty close.
Yeah, good.
And so when
Then
you
we need to take that because they're not going to give us 80 or 90% to fix
well,
it.
if you were to turn around now after, I'm not sure how they would handle all the issues concerning the what do you call it? The studies that have been done, and
The studies have been done, and they want the money to go to a certain place. So I don't think they.
some people
Change.
some people have said, you know, that's wrong. But then when we talk to the state, they tell us that's their interpretation. You know, so
Yeah.
we're actually, you know, in a rock and a hard place there. But
Yeah.
getting back to different things,
Yeah.
I was watching the other day that, you know, the county population went down again. So
Yeah. I heard.
we need to really start digging in now.
Yeah.
And now's a unique opportunity to kind of redesign the new city, the new county. Things are going to have to.
Things are going to have to move forward,
Yep.
not backward.
It's going to take something we've never done in this town, which is, or this area,
Yeah.
which is everybody's going to have to get together now and, as they say, check their egos, E-G-O-S, at the door
Yeah.
and start working hard. Roll up the sleeves and forget about whose name goes on the plaque.
Yeah.
See, this is a big thing in life. Everybody worries about who gets credit, you know, whose name goes on the plaque.
But you promised me a plaque. You said you were going to name City Hall after me.
I did. But, see, plaques and statues, they go away in the future.
Yeah.
The only thing that lasts is the work they did.
True.
Go ahead, caller.
Who's in charge of all of that, the promotional stuff? Who's in charge of that?
What do you mean promotional?
All that you're talking about, we got to move ahead and stuff. Who's in charge of bringing entertainment and fundraisers?
Well, actually, the problem we got is that there are different people in different areas that are working separately. I mean, nobody's getting together as a group. I mean, we have a group called the Council of Governments, but that's more about working on together on purchasing and common things that are not like soliciting business. But in the future, I mean, it's like you got the Chamber of Commerce, you have different groups out there all going in different directions. The first time they ever got together was on
Some new groups.
Huh?
It thinks outside of the box.
Yeah, you need what you need is all the leaders maybe to get together in one room and I'm talking about like the supervisors, the mayor, the councils, and
Citizens.
yeah, and try to form, get people involved that are good at this. And people that are good at this are, nobody wants to hear the names, but a lot of them are relevant. The people that are business people, the Scotts, the Kennedys, the Rick Griffins that are spending money out there, and get some young people with ideas and see what everybody wants to see. But the start of something good was recently when they did the comprehensive plan. They had a war room that nobody knew about, and they actually got together with all these. I bet you there's at least 7 or 8 plans out there, and some of them are interlapping. Like I'll give you an example. The city had to do a comprehensive plan.
Yeah.
Mill Creek's going to have to do one. Summit's going to have to do one. And then you got the downtown plan by the downtown district.
Yeah.
You got Gannon has a plan. Hammett has a plan. Vincent has a plan. Erie Insurance has a plan. And then you got the Lower Bayfront plan. And all these plans they never got together and met to see if they're like going to hurt one another or help one another. So they actually have been starting to get together. Maybe that's a good thing and a good starting point, but I'd like to start, if things work out well, coming up in the next year or two, I'd like to start looking at getting together like a little think tank, if we can do that, and start to get people to start looking at the region more. We got too many agencies that are all out there shooting in different directions.
Yeah.
And, sometimes, the goals are all different. Like Mill Creek's goals and Summit's goals are different. But somewhere in the future, we're going to have to sit down and say, really, what's good for the whole area?
Yeah.
And how do we help each other out? You kind of saw that when we threatened that our school district was going down and that our kids might be heading out to the suburbs. All of a sudden, you saw the suburbs get concerned.
Yeah.
And, no, I mean, it's in the meantime, they don't care about the city, but the city is important. Like I pointed out to Gaming Commission people, I said, there would be no casino if there wasn't a city of Erie.
Yeah.
Okay? Because business only goes where there's a large... Are you still there, ma'am?
No.
Oops, sorry about it.
Thanks for calling.
She brings up a nice point, though.
Yeah.
And we get frustrated because business will come where there's a lot, where there's a lot of people, but they'll also come where they have less infighting.
Yeah.
And if they have to fight and all that, they're not going to come. But if things are seamless, like you go to a lot of areas, and it's like when we designed a ballpark, whether it should have been in downtown Erie or someplace.
Yeah.
We never discussed it. And we have to start looking at what's good for everybody. How do we bring the city back? How do we get a growing county again? Vibrant county.
I go out of town a lot, and I see a lot of different places. And when I talk about Erie, I tend to hear things like, why can't you guys get it together? Why is there so much infighting? Why can't you guys work together for a common goal? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't have an answer for that.
You know what brings people together? Adversity.
Adversity.
You remember in this country when we were attacked on 9/11?
Yeah.
What happened?
Everybody got together.
But what happened now? Everybody's back in their own little way again, right?
Yeah, drifted off again.
There ain't nothing like a disaster. I don't mean that literally, but there's nothing like a disaster or adversity.
Nothing like a good old disaster to bring us together.
Well, I mean...
It's true, though. It's sad, but...
But, if they wake up one day and they look out there and they decide that, you know what, and I've been saying this for years, it's nothing I haven't said.
Yeah.
The county has been stagnant for about 20 years. Now it's actually losing population.
Yeah.
20 or 30 years. Okay? And if that's what there's two ways of looking at it. It's like a half empty, half full thing.
Yeah.
Well, at least we're steady. Yeah, but now you're not steady. You're going down a little bit. So
Yeah.
wouldn't it be better if you grew a little bit?
It would be. It really would be.
I want to grow it, and where I want to start? Bringing my kids back. Now, that might not happen,
Get
but...
your kids to move back.
Well, I mean, I'm serious,
Yeah.
And when you look at... This is a great area, but too often we don't take advantage,
Yeah.
Biggest question I get, one of the biggest ones is, how come your bayfront has never been... out-of-towners tell you this. When we finally get around to developing it, and they're saying, look, it's getting nice down there.
Yeah.
But look how long it took us. We're still not there yet,
Well, it took you guys getting together as a council to get moving in the right
Not
direction.
only us, but there was a lot of things that have gone on for a number of years that finally,
Yeah.
hopefully this year when, Nick Scott will start turning, the Scott project will take off and we'll get GIF going, and hopefully things will really change down there.
Yeah.
We'll see a new renaissance,
Yeah, I like it. I when you drive by now, it looks nice and clean and clear. A lot of the stuff's been...
And I've heard all
cleaned
the
up.
plans over the years, making it a fishing village down there.
Really?
Well, there were some people, and it's not a bad idea, taking it, and at one time there was a plan to turn it into a mini fishing village like it used to be.
Yeah.
Kind of historical
Yeah.
thing, but at the same time, mixing it in with, some restaurants and, different things.
Speaking of stores and restaurants, this leads to a question from our viewer in Ohio.
Yeah.
Are we going to get stores and restaurants down in the new area, in the convention center area?
That is the plan.
That is the plan.
The plan that was presented to us did include that.
It did. Was there a timeline?
Well, the problem is that, like all plans, the first plan was there was a plan made. Okay, I mean a plan and a goal. Okay.
Yeah.
Now they did go out and market it. I don't know how successful they were. They haven't got back to us.
Who'd they market it to?
Well, they hired a marketing agency, and then these marketing agencies, go out and they spread the word through businesses that might be interested.
Was it an Erie marketing agency?
Probably not. But that was the convention center that is marketing that property.
The convention center, which is run by, I'm sorry, who runs that again?
By the convention board,
Which is,
their leader is Casey Wells, and so you have a board of directors.
yeah.
The mayor and council both, and I think most of the citizens in Erie want to see a mix.
Yeah.
So the last plan that was presented to us included a small residential component, small commercial, and retail component, meaning you could have offices. Some of the buildings were like anywhere from 2 to 4 stories, so.
We're talking about all on the old GAF.
GF site,
Okay.
yeah. So what you would have, you might have like a floor or two of residential on top, maybe offices on the one floor, and then bottom floor would be retail. There was a plan. It was there were many plans out there, and then the one they accepted would have like a little road network in there. There was an area for a park component.
Maybe like a little mini strip mall or something.
Well, yeah, but a lot of that's a fluid. Here's the problem: it's a fluid plan. Okay.
Yeah.
There's a piece in there for a little park, where people could meet. Maybe at certain times of year, put an ice rink in there or some,
Oh, well, that'd be kind of cool.
I mean, we brought that up, and they said, "Oh, that's something we could look at." Meaning, if they, like in other towns, they could put a temporary rink in there or some, where you could have like a little picnic or celebration.
I can see it now. I can visualize it. You have all these little pathways leading to a middle area that has a park, and then you can put.
Well, actually,
during the winter,
Councilman Brennan had an interesting plan. If I still got it, I'll let you borrow it.
Yeah.
And that one, he envisioned canals.
Ooh.
But that was kind of ruled out because well, he wasn't. That was a pie in the sky thing. But he was saying, think if we were like a mini San Antonio, and we built this little village and just put like a little canal going through there.
I've been to Vegas. I mean, there's one hotel that we go to in Vegas.
But San Antonio has a canal system, like a little bit.
Yeah.
And you can stop off and get, more of a touristy thing. But
it'd be great, but
But at least he was thinking what you call outside the box. Okay.
I love that. Is he also the one who came up with putting the lights under the bridge and fixing those?
I think it was
the gateways to the city.
He's an architect,
with the
so
lighting.
probably was him.
I'm down with that so hard you can't believe.
I
want to light up the entrances.
It's a shame we can't do this in Erie, but in Philadelphia, they actually had businesses underneath the bridges.
Yeah.
And they were clean. They were clean, and
well, it's the same thing in Pittsburgh. I just got back from Pittsburgh. I was in Pittsburgh all day yesterday, and I was just amazed at how progressive and beautiful. Even areas where things aren't 100%, they're still trying. There doesn't seem to be the amount.
Well, they've changed their
decay.
scope from making steel now to
yeah. There's not the amount of decay that we seem to have in empty buildings.
Well, you got to remember, a lot of theirs is eds and meds. So what happens is these people, that's a term to use, education and medicine, is taking over downtown Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Okay? They don't make steel down there no more, so not in the city per se. Maybe just one plant, I think.
Teach people how to take them.
But what they do is these people now that have this income, these kids, and it's happening in Cleveland, by the way, too.
Yeah.
Kids are moving back downtown, even in Cleveland, and they want nightlife. They want things to do. And what's happening is, as the ex-guy I work for said, business meaning we will come where we can make money, okay? And in Cleveland and Pittsburgh, you're seeing this new renaissance where bars are opening, restaurants, stores with shopping. You could see that near, and it could happen, but you got to get housing downtown.
We need a nightlife, too. I mean, seriously, everything closes up during the week at like 5 o'clock, and on the weekends, these streets are dead.
Nothing says they can't stay open.
They could stay open, but
But we're getting back to what you were talking about. With another development at that GAF site was a central market house.
Yeah.
That would, most of them aren't open every day of the week, but
Right.
That is an interesting concept that works out east in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And they're actually talking in the bus terminal about the new bus terminal. It's going to, when it gets in its third phase, there'll be maybe a grocery store component in that part.
What, the one up on 14th and French?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a lot of things, but it's one thing to hope for something, but, you got to get people that they got the money to build it, will come. And I think they are marketing that property, and I don't know how successful they were yet.
You guys got to be nicer to the people with money then.
Pardon?
Nick Scott's a nice guy. You got to be nicer to him, and maybe he'll bring, because he's got a wild brain. I mean, who else would come up to putting a water park in Erie, Pennsylvania? I mean, he's got ideas, and
But
he's
you got
not
to remember,
against weird thoughts.
I was in West Virginia.
Yeah.
Actually, I was in Virginia too, and the station in Cleveland, because Nick was advertising his water park on WTAM in Cleveland, which is, I think, 1100.
Yeah.
And that's like a powerful station.
You listen to AM radio?
I used to. I still do once in a while, but 1100 would pound all the way into Virginia. And you could hear talking about his water park in Erie, PA on that channel.
Yeah.
And then what he did was he got him irritated in Ohio, so now the Ohio places are building water parks that challenge him.
Yeah.
Because he found a gold mine.
He did. I mean, I'm surprised.
And you know what? People can come here, and here's the thing. They come here, get one of his hotel rooms, right next door, go to the water park.
Yep.
And then go to the mall or the various stores, save on sales tax, which Ohio has sales tax on clothing, I believe. And guess what? Win-win. As one of the congressmen said, and I was surprised at the gaming hearing, he said, we have to think in Harrisburg the consequences of our decision, which meant if they were to change their concept of, it sounds nice like, well, let's tax on clothing.
Yeah.
And let's have the county get a sales tax. But guess what, though? How many of those people from Canada and New York and Ohio will come here when we're just another...
And then they'll drive businesses away.
Right. Go ahead, caller.
Hey, Kaz.
Yeah.
Hey, did you see what Nick Scott doing out in Peaky Peak?
No, what's his newest plan?
Some kind of rides out there or something. They're going to have news conference at 3 o'clock today.
Oh, wow.
Oh, really? He put a zip line in it. What else he got?
Zip lines and Segway tours so far.
Yeah, what's he got now? Who knows?
Uh-oh.
I don't know.
Well, let's hope he brings some of that magic to the lower Bayfront.
We have a lot of properties. He could sell them the paper place.
There you go. Hey, thanks for calling, Lloyd.
Yeah, what else going on?
Oh, not much. You got anything you want to talk about?
No, not really.
Okay. Yeah, no, we're just talking about different things.
Yeah, what about, I went by an area, I won't say the area. They already have a lot out for a spring cleaning. Look like they empty the whole house out.
Yeah, a lot of people, it's amazing how much one large item is, but...
well, what you do is you take one large item and then pile a bunch of small items on top of it, and it counts as one. I think that's how it works, right?
Actually, Lloyd, what I noticed was the metal dealers will go around and start picking these things. So, a lot of times I throw stuff out I know it's not even going to make it to the city. Because these guys will come around, they'll cherry pick everything.
I go junking. I go dumpster diving sometimes.
There you go.
You'd be amazed at what you find.
But yeah, Lloyd, it's amazing how much they can store in a house, isn't it? Lloyd?
Yeah,
It's
are they going to start finding them, I heard?
I don't know. That's up to administration, but, I mean, fines are in place, but...
Can we just wander around and start these piles of garbage on fire? That would be...
don't want to do that.
Oh, okay.
Don't
Sorry.
do it.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah, geez almighty. Our firemen are busy enough.
Yeah, okay. We don't want to do that.
Yeah, and we are short-handed, too.
Yeah, these houses, some of them are old stock. They'll go up like...
I still got one next door to me. It's falling apart day by day.
When I was in the Army, they showed us what happens when you make an error.
Yeah.
Okay, Kev.
See you, Lloyd.
Lloyd.
One of these barracks went up in literally 2 minutes.
Wow.
That dried.
Yeah. Well, let's not do that. So let's find a way to find these people.
Actually, on a lot of occasions, it ain't too bad. The city's been kind of, lenient.
Mm.
Go ahead, caller.
Hey, Kaz, how are you?
Good. How you been?
Just a little bit on the sick side, but I'm okay now.
It seems like there's some going around.
Yeah. Hey, in the light of what you just mentioned about the one-item pickup,
Yeah.
they ever decided who enforces the pickup if they put more than one item out?
That is, boy, it's either going to be, God, I'm trying to think now. That's a good one.
Can you just
I
assign
think
somebody?
the mayor came on. He was going to look into it. Who would be
Well, I think
enforcing that? And,
it would sound like
seemed like an answer which came up. So that's why I can see why everybody's putting out. Who's going to fine me for what?
Well, it could be. It probably isn't refuse because the people that have the authority to fine would probably be code enforcement. It could be them or.
Interesting to see if you can find that ordinance about that one item pickup to see who's given the authority to.
My initial thought would be code enforcement, and or maybe the police, but I would think it'd probably be code enforcement, even though refuse picks it up, because very few branches of the city actually have what you call authority to fine or
Correct.
So I think code enforcement would be it, but I'll check on it. One item.
Well, at one time, the parking authority, they got a request from the caller saying, hey, my neighbor's garbage blew into my property. Would they put a ticket on it?
Yeah. No, you can't do that, but...
I know, but that's how...
But see, the parking authority is a good example of when they farm, guys were deputized to hand out parking tickets.
I was just going to say, if you could deputize me, I would work for free. I would totally go around and make sure those...
Maybe that's something we get... Maybe what we got to do is...
Is that DJ?
Yeah, hey, Doc.
You're going to need what they call one of those nice Teflon vests that the police use.
maybe the thing is, the city's in a rock and a hard place because
I know. And
if they don't pick up the garbage, it's laying there, and the neighbors, look at it.
Yeah.
If they fine, they're in another hot spot because a lot of people say they can't afford it, or they'll come up with. So I mean, it's a crazy thing, but as long as people don't go nuts, the city has never been really that bad on it, But you go to some of these places, my God, they know you're not supposed to have building materials or electronics.
right. Why is it that the city only picks maybe once or twice a year to do this? Whereas I think Mill Creek they do it all year round. They let you put out one item.
Well, they have a private company. In fact, if you watch the news, they just hired a new company, Waste Management.
Right.
Lost it. But if we years ago tried to, long before I was even in government, I remember they talked about either getting rid of the garbage department and privatizing it, and it turned out it was more expensive for a firm to come into the city. If you're dealing with a city the size of Erie, it's a lot different than a community like Mill Creek. Because in the city, you have other lifestyles and things show up that, it gets, these businesses know that, and they charge you more. But, yeah, we could do it, but basically it comes down to, they decided years ago that at least once a year they would, before the guys are out there tarring and chipping and doing all this other stuff, because basically we got to find the manpower and the trucks to do this. It's not like we have big departments anymore like we did in the old days. Yeah. Some of these guys are what they call multitasking. The same guys that are picking up the refuse might be blacktopping the street next week.
Right.
Wow.
So I mean, to make this project work, it's a major undertaking, and even I wish they would start a little later, because then we have the problem with the college kids moving out, and the program's over, and the college kids are like a week or two later, and they're dumping their refuse. But yeah, I mean it was a plan years ago. They decided this was the best time of year because we were coming out of the salting, and just before we go into the heavy road work.
Well, hopefully it works again. I mean, the biggest thing for me with it is when these people put out more than one large item.
Oh yeah, people definitely abuse it, and you know what? We do collect a lot of material. Let me tell you.
I know, but why don't But the problem is, like I said, some of these people, they don't really have any respect for those people who are using the sidewalk. They let it all flow over the top of the sidewalk, and you got to go out into the street to get around the pile.
Somebody like you that's got to walk once in a while and has visually impaired.
It's a problem.
Oh, I tell you, the other day I'm amazed. I was going over 38th Street, and you got cars all over the sidewalk. And they're smart. They do it on the weekend when when they know the parking authority's not there, or on top of Pine Avenue there's another one. I'm going, you got people that are running and walking, and you got people just conducting everyday business, and I'm going, there's no respect for a lot of things anymore. It's a different world today.
Yeah, it is. And there's a lot of time, boy, you want to seek a little revenge on those cars that violate the laws that way. One thing I was going to mention to you last time, I didn't get a chance to listen to you before last week, so I was out busy. Anyway, you talked about the metering, parking meters being changed to that kiosk-type place.
Yeah, when Ray Massing he's been working with council and the administration on it for a couple of years now. And we're fine-tuning how we're going to make this work. Some of our ordinances are going to be retuned. And
well, the biggest thing that when we were talking about it, when Whitey and I, was battery backup. Because those things there, when you lose power, need reset, reprogram.
You mean the kiosks or the meters?
Yeah, now maybe they corrected that.
What's that, the meters or the kiosk stock?
Kiosk, where you would check in your license plate and all that, all that stuff, all that information you put in, that would be lost.
I really don't know, but it's in many towns the size of Erie and bigger.
Right.
And
you might want to check. They probably got some kind of a secondary power supply or a large battery backup built into the base.
Well, I know Ray was looking at, Mr. Massing was looking at many companies and trying to find out, which one was best. And what they would do, they would have a trial run before it gets put in anyway.
Yeah, well, when I have my eyesight, why didn't you send me out to look at a few of these things?
Yeah, I'm sure, and I'll bring it up to them, your concerns. But I'm sure they must have the same problem in other towns, so.
Right, well, I'm sure they've improved them since then.
Yeah.
Because it's always, every year they come up with some kind of improvements. So.
And then he's also looking at what kind of system will the meter attendants use, because they're going to be carrying some in their car with them.
Right.
It'll be a paperless thing where, they won't have to be writing tickets out in the rain anymore.
Well, as I said, I just got back from Pittsburgh this weekend, and they have the kiosk system.
Almost everybody does.
It's basically it's a 4 or 5 foot tall tower, and it's big enough to put batteries in it because computers are so small now. So that could have a backup battery system in it, and it wirelessly communicates. They just come by with what they call a pendant, little handheld device. That it's a phone, and they basically get the information, find out who's over and who's under, and then they'll go assign tickets. So it could be done wirelessly, and they'll probably have backup batteries.
A lot of people thought, Doc, too, we were going to, in real little towns, towns that are small enough, they can actually put meters in there that got individual credit card readers on every machine. But that's expensive.
The meters back when I was still there, they were able to take a credit card in. Took some doing and that, and then also DJ, they had a spot you just held a recording device up against it. It download the information right into it and tell you how much usage, what day, hours, how many hours was it used at that time.
Yep.
What kind of it was material to help you plan properly the locations and what type of meters to use.
Yeah.
I think what's going to happen if you put these new meters in, it'll actually cut down fines because people will now be able, if you're inside a show, let's say, and it's running like you're in the ballpark and the game runs a little late, you can now hopefully program your meter, or you can download like you do with Easy Pass.
Yeah.
You can set up an account where you can take so much money out every time you feed the meter.
Now, that's a good idea. I think that's being well planned out, and I'm hoping it works well for them.
Well,
Because,
it's
like you say, I don't have those phones that use apps because I just can't see them.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not that great either, but I remember I was at a meeting and I was the liaison at that year, and I just asked Ray about it, and he said, well, we've been thinking about it and working on it slowly. I said, well, let's start moving forward with it a little bit, and
well, one thing you should have,
thanks to Ray and his board, we're there.
Yeah.
Built into the kiosk cash, they should have maybe some kind of like a 911 connection.
Well, I think they very well could be wireless already, considering
They should have something like that just in case.
everything's gone cellular, so they very well could communicate with the base station, and then you wouldn't even really have to check them on site, except to give out the tickets.
Well, not so much a ticket. It's in case of a car emergency, you need a AAA.
Yeah.
He's saying it could be like a little Wi-Fi thing there or
Yeah, I
something.
can't
Maybe.
remember if I saw any emergency buttons on the ones in Pittsburgh, but that's a good idea.
They just so that because they used to have those little fireboxes on the corners you could pull down. Those are gone. So
Yeah.
if you don't have a cell phone,
Well, if you go around town now, like Erie Insurance and Gannon got a lot of those blue boxes now.
Yeah, yeah.
The emergency boxes.
Have you been downtown? We've seen those corners now where they're setting up for the blind, those little beepers, so that the blind know where to hit the button to cross the street.
Yeah, there's a couple.
That, and I heard, there's a couple now that talk to you too, don't they?
There are two of them down there on French Street by Erie Insurance.
Yeah, French and Six.
One by Ace and also Ace and French, they have them too.
Nice.
Pretty interesting device. You can hear the beep and you can locate where the buttons are.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes they got birds or people that talk. The other day I heard one that talked to me, actually.
They do. They will talk.
It was like, hey, Kaz, how's it going?
Yeah. I think it was Philadelphia. I can't remember where I was now.
Yeah.
But, yeah, they got them where they talk to you, like, don't walk, don't walk, don't walk, don't walk.
Stop.
Yeah.
Just don't go anywhere.
Now they've got you talking to telephone poles.
Yeah, right.
There you go.
All
Hey,
right,
thanks
Doc.
for calling, Doc.
Yeah, thanks for calling.
You guys have a great day and have a happy Easter birthday.
We will.
You too, Doc.
All right, bye now.
Bye now. And with that,
Don't eat too much sugar.
don't eat too much sugar.
Boy, oh,
I
boy.
don't have any words of wisdom. I got the sugar. I'm not supposed to eat any sugar. But outside of that, I got nothing. This is DJ from Cat.
Well, I think we had a good variety of callers, but
Hey, one last word.
what's that?
I got nothing.
Do you have no last word?
I do have a last word. On this month, we are in April now, right? April the 29th, Makerspace and Cat are going to be having a retro game night. So it's going to be all the old video game systems. You can come in for a couple bucks, and there will be pizza and games and fun and laughter and no candy, though.
Hilarity? Jocularity?
Hilarity. I don't know, that sounds weird. Jocularity. Is that jugularity?
That was on MASH all the time. Jocularity.
Jugular. But outside of that,
As AJ would say, DJ would say,
who's age?
green lights and blue skies.
Green lights and okay.
Somebody else I borrowed that from somebody, so I can't claim it.
Green skies and blue lights.
Oh, green lights and blue skies.
Thank you much. Hasta la bye-bye.
What? Hustle, Obama.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have been watching the Taxpayers Hotline Show on Erie's own Government Access, Channel 9.